Blue Lock dropped yet another banger, as in this chapter we continue in side B, and now it's Nagi's turn to try his best and get serious. But to know more, you will have to wait. But trust me, there is a ton more stuff, so get ready. Alright, so starting off this chapter, also called Relive, we started inside of side B as we see that both Nagi and Mizuki have been chosen as the bird team, and that they have got around 2 minutes. Mizuki looks a bit nervous, but even then he just says, alright. We then see the goat and the marvelous Nishioka, who screams out to all the no-names that are here, they're coming. We then also after that have another NPC who tells everyone to not let them have it. But with that out of the way, we then head into Nagi's thoughts, as he wonders if the reason that he is so fired up is because he is gambling his soccer life on surviving here. After that, we get a close-up to his face, as he says that it's not right. He has some blood around his face as he says that he is sure that it's more than that. We then quickly see another NPC just passing the ball around, but let's be honest, who cares about that? Let's head back into Nagi's thoughts. He thinks that for the first time in his life, he is following his own will and not using someone else as a reason, explaining that alone in this battle, he is trying so hard to live, and with that, we see him just charging forward like a beast. But just then, while the NPCs are passing around, we then see Mizuki. He honestly looks lost but says that he is counting on Nagi, telling him that the reason that he chose him is because he is big and talented. On top of that, it seems like he has got some guts, telling Nagi that if they want to clear this thing, then they just need to shake the control of whoever's getting the ball, and then they will get their chance. Nagi waits up for a second, because he tells him that he understands. After that, he honestly looks a bit menacing as he asks Mizuki what it is that he can do. With that, we actually see Mizuki starting to get fired up as he tells Nagi that he can run as fast as he wants. Nagi just tells him that it sounds good and for him to do it. With that, we see Mizuki almost getting to the ball, and Nagi tells him that it was a nice press of his. We do see that the NPCs look to be starting to be struggling just a tiny bit, and not long after Mizuki says that, he sees it, and with that, he anticipates where the ball is going to go, and is already heading to the other player who is starting to panic. But he manages to pass the ball and says that he just got it in time. However, Nagi isn't on the same page as he is, as he tells the no-name that he is wrong and that the ball is coming there. We see the other player freaking out as he tells them to not let him trap, which is kind of ironic that he is bossing them around when he messed up. Anyway, we see that the ball is quickly going to Nagi and he already has 2 players surrounding him. After that, both of them actually jump on top of him, but that's when Nagi reveals to them all that he isn't going to trap the ball, as he instead heads it away, which actually leaves them all in awe. Nagi, however, looks confident and determined as he then tells Mizuki to run, which we sure see Mizuki doing as he is going. Usain Bolt paced toward the ball. Mizuki even starts to get a slight smile as he says that it's here and that it's his. But sadly, we just couldn't get that happy ending just yet, as a ton of nobodies scream that it's not going to happen, and for the others to charge at him. And with that, we see 4 people heading right to stop Mizuki, who comes on 4 people. He is insane. They are not going to go easily on him either as they jump in front of him. And also, on top of that, they start to take their hands in front of his face and pull him back. Obviously, Mizuki starts to freak out and slightly panics, but after that, he awakens his inner beast as he stretches out his foot just enough to send the ball right up into the air. With that, he screams at Nagi to please get it. Nagi, who is also in a battle, as he has 2 people behind him, just says, alright, and that this must be it. We see his eyes getting more and more excited as he keeps on staring at the incoming ball. With that, he also in his head says that, life or death, it all hangs on that ball. With that, his foot starts to be filled with aura, as he also starts to think back to some of the moments in Blue Lock, and with that, admits that only this ego tug of war can produce this fire. Or that light. Only this can change lives. With that said, Nagi actually jumps on top of another player, which was pretty funny, and it even looks like he gets kicked in his face as Nagi then launches off. Anyway, with that, Nagi is obviously heading right to the ball, and while he is doing that, he also thinks back to Isagi, who screamed out to him, telling him not to stop playing soccer. With that in mind, he explains that he is going to rebuild his life. With that out of the way, we see his insane skull aura coming out, which we haven't gotten to see for so long, so it feels super nice. On top of that, he of course manages to trap the ball, which even starts to shine a bit, which was a dope addition. After that, he looks super fired up and locked in as he calls out to Mizuki. He gets down with the ball and tells him that people can shine. Mizuki, who is still sadly on the floor, just holds up his thumb and tells Nagi that he just saw it, which was super sweet. With that, we see that both of them manage to clear the side B first stage with almost 1 minute to spare, and I'm actually happy to see Mizuki continuing, weirdly enough. But we then sadly leave side B, as we then head into the U20 Japan locker room, where we can obviously see that the whole atmosphere is really bad and sad, and it doesn't help that Shido starts to speak up. He kicks a ton of water bottles and screams out that they lost, explaining that this really sucks and that he is having a cell death burst. He then just adds more oil to the fire as he looks back at Rin and tells him that it's all his fault and calls him a Neubrows. He tells him that it was a full-blown diarrhea match and bro, just please fix your language a bit. Rin is just surprised and asks Shido if he's talking to him. This only gets him more mad as he screams at him and asks him who else he would be talking about. Asking Rin if he should cut that tongue of his out, we then see both him and Rin going close to each other and getting ready to fight, but they are getting pulled away by Hiyori and Aiku. Aiku just looks fed up as he tells them to knock it off, explaining that they are all pissed off, telling them to quit pointing fingers and focus on the next match. But just then, Isagi, who has his head down, he speaks up. He apologizes to everyone and tells them that it was his fault. We then see that this catches Kunigami's, Chigiri's and Bachira's attention, which was so sweet. Anyway, he continues as he actually looks super sad. He tells them that he wasn't a suitable number one. Because of that, they have to pivot to an unfamiliar formation and spent the whole match on the back foot, telling everyone that he was the worst one out there, and he once again apologizes. But after him, it's Karasu who says that it wasn't the only reason that they lost. However, he says that he has to boost his skills, or he is no match for them. He actually admits that he felt like at this rate, there's no way that they can win from now on. But Karasu isn't done, and far from it, as he tells them that, to be honest, he bets some of them are starting to doubt Ego's methods and asks if he isn't right. With that, he tells them that before they consider what's next, they should all just open up about how they are feeling right now. Aiku looks at him and tells him that it's a good idea, saying that whether it's about Blue Lock or any complaints that they have, we then finally get a panel of Yukimiya even though it's really short. But honestly, we need to see him more. I'm begging for it to happen. Anyway, he says that maybe they should talk about how to align their current egos. We then switch to Isagi, who is silent for a moment before he says, "Alright." He looks pretty cool as he tells them that first, they keep using this word egotist as if they all know what it means, but what even is ego? And that line is so hard. I'm sure that this is what both we and they have been waiting for, as this is without a doubt the key to unlocking their next evolution. They are finally going to discuss the ego topic and get everyone into the same mindset, hopefully, and as Yukimiya said, align their egos with each other. Anyway, with that said, let's talk about the next chapter. First off, there is no break, which come on, that has to be celebrated as the authors are keeping us fed recently. So big shoutouts to them. Also, we do have the title for the next chapter, and you might be able to guess it, but it will be called Ego. Now that's insane, I might just be hyping it up way too much. But with a chapter that is called Ego, that just is bound to be awesome. I can imagine that the players are going to be talking with themselves for a while and discussing what ego is and what it means for them. But after that, I can see that Ego is just going to go straight into the room and have one of his infamous lectures. Here, he will break down exactly what ego is and what they can do to really utilize it more. On top of that, I really want to hear what Ego has to say about this match just overall, as we haven't gotten his thoughts yet, and his thoughts are almost the most important, so I'm pretty much dying for them right now. But with that said, I am curious whether they will show more of Side B, or if that will be done for now, anyway. Let me know what you thought about this chapter, and also what is going to happen in the next one. I would rate this chapter a decent 5, because for me it was just average, but I can predict that the next chapter will be way better. Anyway, if you like Blue Lock and videos like this, then I would highly suggest you subscribe to this channel, and while you are at it, leave a comment and a like. Also, if you can, hype the video down below, as it helps out with the algorithm a ton. And if you are curious to see another video of mine, then please watch the video that will be popping up on the screen now. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye.